Hi and welcome. What is up? If you're new, my name is Svetlana. If you're coming back, still Svetlana, still the same joke. So I was just meditating and literally my higher self, my voice, whatever you want to call it, was like, pop on YouTube's and talk about higher self. I don't know who needs to hear this, but apparently someone does, because yeah, I got the download, I got the message, and this is what this video is gonna be about: your higher self. So yeah, get comfortable. Hopefully it's not gonna be 20 minutes like the spiritual strength one, but you know what, with me you never know, so no empty promises from this cowgirl. All right, here we go. So higher self, this is wild. So throughout my spiritual journey, it's been like 2 years. And when I used to hear spiritual, spiritual strength, wow, hello, higher self, I used to think it is outside of me, right? It is something separate. I used to build up this separation, basically, where it's like, okay, well, I'm Svetlana, and there's the higher self that I'm trying to connect to in my meditation, right? It was always me looking outwards, right? Me searching for something, me grasping, me wanting. Do you see these needs? A lot of, ooh, it's outside of me. I can't help myself. Like, I need to reach out and, you know, get this, that, and the other from something separate from me. And then throughout my journey, you start to shift your perspective, obviously, and your consciousness shifts. So then you start listening to different lectures, you start reading, and then you come to this idea, this concept. And once again, I'm always speaking from my own personal experience, but you come upon this concept, this idea, this belief that the source, God, whatever you want to call it, it's within you. You are God, you're the source. There is absolutely no separation. Like when you pray, you're not looking up, you're not talking to the outside, you are talking within, from within. Everything's connected, and that's where the oneness comes. So that happened recently too. Once you start, you go, well, yeah, everyone's connected. You understand the concept of oneness. But it wasn't until the whole idea of the source within you, right? The God within you, the power of creation, manifestation. Once you come into that, then the higher self kind of opens up to you. Then I had this revelation. I don't really use the word enlightenment. That just gives strength to the ego, and that is not what we're here about. No one is more enlightened than you, me, or that. There's no hierarchy in spirituality, basically. So stay humble. Hashtag we know nothing, right? But anywhoosie, so basically, once you come into the concept of you are the universe, there's a universe inside of you, right? We create our reality through thoughts, emotions. And then I was like, well, I'm still looking for my higher self. I want my higher self to make decisions for me, right? I was like, well, this higher knowing must be better than what I am doing, what I am, what I can be. And then one day in meditation, it's just literally a light, third eye, whatever you want to call it, open. And you realize your higher self is not outside of you. Your higher self is literally just you acting, talking, thinking, doing everything from your heart space. What does that mean, Svetlana? I'm always doing things from my heart space, right? Doing things from your heart space is, well, first of all, meditation. This is where meditation, once again, you cannot escape it. You cannot go around it. Meditation gives you the ability, the power of awareness. When a thought is received or whatever you're perceiving through your eyes, right? You get to choose how you perceive it, what you think, and how you feel. That's the power of awareness, right? Meditation is just prolonged awareness. Once you start practicing that, once you acquire that, then you come into oneness with your higher self, which is when a thought arises, you're acting from your higher self, your higher vibration. You're seeing it from not a perspective of the ego where it's judgmental or doubtful or fearful. When something is received, then you're thinking of possibilities, right? Acceptance, gratitude. And once you start doing this to everything that comes towards you or anything you give out, your 3D world shifts. Like, because everything you're giving out is such a high frequency, then the universe is like, whoa, they're up here, there's no way I can send them anything below that. And even if it does, everything below that, the way you receive it, you lift it up, right? Something happens, like, let's say I don't know, something that you would see a week ago in a negative light, now you're perceiving it from your higher self, which is, oh my God, that needed to happen because of this, that, and the other. This happened, now I'm here. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like I always say, there's no accidents, only synchronicities. Once you allow that flow to come into your universe, once you go, you know what, universe, this was the hardest part for me, which I didn't even realize I was doing. It was releasing control. And not like, oh my God, like I need total, complete control. I'm talking about control subconsciously. I didn't even know I wanted or was trying to manipulate, right? It was like little things. It was like, well, if this doesn't happen the way I imagined it, then it's not even worth it kind of deal. So it was this control over whatever you visualized and thinking that's how things need to be. And then you come into realization where it's like, that's not my higher self. That's just the ego. Because when you're vibrating on your higher self, everything that comes in is beautiful. It's beautiful and you accept it and there's no judgment. That was also control and any sort of judgment you have towards it. There's just acceptance and content become part of your reality. And once this is the best part though, once you become aligned with your higher self and you do this and you practice it, and I'm not, like I said, with spiritual strength, it's not easy, but every day, every moment, every day, if you practice it, it becomes more and more natural until you're just like smiling. You don't need to smile, obviously, but you're vibrating, you're giving out love and light. Whether you like it or not, that is contagious and people notice it. You notice it. That's the most important thing. But what happens, like I always say, you have to fill your own cup in order to share it with others, right? And like literally, if I didn't start working on myself, spiritually, whatever, mentally, I wouldn't be making this video. And God knows, like, someone might watch it and might be, might learn something from it. Do you see what I mean? Everything is connected. So going back to the higher self, once you become aligned, decision making, you become confident in your decisions because you know you're acting out of your heart space. And whatever happens out of your heart space, if you're not hurting anyone, it's out of pure intention. And that's what you start, like, you don't compare, but anything that comes in, you automatically notice what emotion and thought arises in you and whether or not it's satisfying. If it's not a satisfying thought, if it's filled with doubt and fear, you go, thank you, I acknowledge you, but I don't need this in my universe, in my life, right? You take it and you start molding it into possibilities, right? Happy, just greater, higher vibrations. Instead of letting it tear you down or bring you down, you bring it up. And that's what higher self does. You start acting, talking from just, honestly, you become childlike again. You become more playful. You're not as concerned, like I'm making this video right now, right? A year ago, I would have been so concerned about people judging me or, criticizing, or how am I going to look? How am I going to sound? ego. Do you notice these thoughts? This is overthinking, overanalyzing, fear, doubt. These are low vibrations that stop us from doing things like this. So once you start meditating, then you start realizing these thoughts and you're like, whoa, I no longer need this. You start shedding those layers that were keeping you back. And these layers, you guys, these layers, we picked them up when growing up, right? Growing up, no one was like, oh, Svetlana, have you tried meditating? What? But through meditation, you then can look back, you can do shadow work, inner child work, and realize whatever you picked up along the way, it's like literally, it's like dirt. You shower, right? And you clean your body, you do all of this, and this is like a spiritual cleanse inside. You go, whoa, these beliefs no longer serve me, right? When I was a teen, 20s, whatever. And this is where the inner work is crucial. It's looking at your old beliefs, looking at your thought process. Your thought process, dear souls, is so important to any evolution, any leveling up. Once you start, little by little, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. Once you start changing your vocabulary, I said vocabulary, what you use is so important. Words are energy. When I started this spiritual journey, words like success, words like transformation, they were not part of my vocabulary. Sure, I've maybe used them a couple of times, but I would never use them daily. And once you start using something daily, it becomes part of your reality. And that's how you shape whatever reality it is. You start living in it. And that's part of manifestation, I guess. I don't want to derail. But once you start talking from your heart space, once you start communicating openly and truthfully, right? You gain confidence. You gain self-respect, self-worth, knowledge. You gain all of these goodies that, without even you realizing, align you with your higher self, right? Because that's your higher self. It's the compassion. Basically, keyword here, 12 minutes in, keyword here, compassion towards others, towards yourself, just compassion in general. Always be, if you feel derailed in something, always come back to compassion. Always come back to patience. Always come back to love and light, right? And that's why compassion is so important, especially compassion during meditation. When you send out love and light, not to yourself, but to others, people suffering, any kind of service is compassion. And any 3D services and money or time, anything that's going towards serving others, helping others, at the end of the day, that is true happiness, that's content, that's peace, right? But that will help your spiritual growth. So yeah, so once again, once you get aligned with your higher self, you realize there's no one out there telling me to do these good deeds or these things or to talk nicely. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just because we've been conditioned where it's like, all right, I'll be nice to this person, right? Probably because I want something from it, or it's a vice versa, right? Or, oh, I'll be nice here, but I'm going to be, there's no more of that. There's no more ego. There's no more mask. You're literally centered, grounded, and there's no more concerns of this society that's been basically telling you what to say, what to do, how to dress, just these standards or expectations. Those, once again, the veil, if you will, your third eye, the veil lifts, the third eye opens, and you're just you realize we're all connected, we're all one, we're all here doing the same thing. When you're happy, I'm happy, right? Literally going back to Namaste. My God in me recognizes the God in you. And that's your higher self. That's your God in you, acting, doing, talking, thinking from the higher self, because that's all there is. And when you're tilting towards the negatives, the I can't, or I'm in fear, I'm in doubt, that's your ego. That's when you recognize, whoa, I got off the path there for a second, which is fine. That's how we learn. That's part of the journey. But it's up to us to recognize when we fall off or when we tilt, and to get back to alignment, right? So make sure your throat chakra is open. Make sure you're speaking your truth. Make sure, this is also knowledge. Make sure you're speaking from who you really are. Please don't hold yourself back ever. Don't hold your light back. Don't be afraid of what others think. We're all in this together. And basically, don't overthink. Overthinking really gets it feeds the ego. It feeds the ego mind. It feeds the ego body. I can't recommend this book enough. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle will take you in depth more. But yeah, never dim your light. Dimming your light means dimming your higher self. And that's what you want to operate from, because that is your true self. And the ego doesn't like to hear that, right? The ego is like, no, whoa, I'm Svetlana. I have this, I've accomplished that, I have titles, I have this. No. You're an energy of love and light. You have a name, right? You've been operating your whole life. But at the end of the day, you are love and light. So recognize that. Recognize your true love, that you are love, and shine it. Shine it bright. So thank you so much. I said this was going to be 20. Well, no, I did. I made no promises. Ayo. Thank you. Love you. Hope someone got something out of this. And if no one did, I know I did. Thank you so much. And remember, this is not teaching, learning. I don't want anyone to ever think, oh my gosh, she's out here teaching. Or like Ram Dass said, when I talk, you listen. When you listen, it's all equal planes here, right? We are here to separate these titles of, oh, someone's teaching, I'm learning. We're literally just receiving and giving together as one. And I love that concept. I don't know why I love that, right? Just calmness. Can you feel it? It's really no expectations, no judgment, calm, beautiful space, right? And that's how the collective is going to start shifting the consciousness. When we become more accepting, right, towards one another, when we recognize the light within everyone that interacts with us. And that's love, you guys. That is. All right, on that note, thank you, love you, namaste.